welcome to Stop, Drop and Yoga. Today we're going to talk about getting down onto the floor. It's something that a lot of people find quite daunting, and it can be a reason that you don't try yoga. It's important to remember that you don't have to get onto the floor in order to practice yoga. There are lots of chair-based options, and you can practice lying in your bed. So do please see my Basics of Adaptive Yoga course. The link will be in the comments below. Now, if you'd like to try getting down onto the floor, we're going to use a chair to start with today. And you'll see that I've placed some cushions and blankets around so that I've got nice soft surfaces on either side, just in case I take a little fall. Now, of course, if you are suffering from osteoporosis, please be very, very careful. There's no way we want to increase your risk of injury through the practice of yoga. I would thoroughly recommend that you have a friend or a family member nearby in order to make sure that you feel safe as you make your journey down onto the floor. Now, in order to try this out today, we're going to take our chair and we're going to place it in front of us with the seat facing towards us. Now, you might find that you want a sturdier chair than I've got. Mine's quite flimsy. So I recommend that you use quite a nice strong kitchen chair or one of those nice big square footstools. You can also use the edge of your couch or your bed as well. Now, we'll start by leaning forward and resting our hands onto the seat of the chair. Now, it might be that this is your first step towards getting down onto the floor. This could be where you stop today. And it's always fine to explore the components of this action rather than needing to get all the way down onto the floor. This is a supported standing forward bend. I've taken my feet a little bit wider, and that might give you a little bit more space to accommodate your tummy. And it might be that you practice bringing a bit of a bend into your knees and hugging your belly and your pelvic floor in. So this is the first stage. The second stage will be to step one of our feet closer to the chair and to start to take the other foot further back. And this becomes a supported lunge. We're bringing a deep bend into the front knee. So this is a great way to build strength in the front leg. And you might also get a nice little stretch in the back leg, in the calf, and also through the front of the hip. Now, if this feels okay to you, you might just step forward and change sides. And that in itself could be your practice today. Excuse my squeaky chair. Now, if you feel okay to go further, then we'll step that front foot back. You might even wriggle it a little bit further back so you've got your stance as long as you can comfortably. And then we'll slowly begin to bend into that back knee. Now, again, this could be your practice to lift the back knee and lower it down. Now, you might be quite comfortable just to continue to work like this. Again, you would change sides and explore bending and straightening the back leg. I'm going to take one of my blankets now, and I'm going to make a little cushion for my knee to come down onto. So, where were we? I'm taking my left foot back. I'm going to slowly now lower my back knee down to the floor. Now, some people find that that's easier if they lean forward and rest their elbows onto the chair, which is why you might need that front foot a little bit wider so you've got a bit of space for your tummy. That back knee's going to come down onto the floor, and then we've made it halfway there. Now from here, we'll start to walk our hands back, and usually it's easiest if you start to lean out and away from the front leg. So I'm going to gently move my bolster out of the way now. I'm feeling pretty steady. And then from here, as I walk my hands out to the side, I'm going to get the freedom to bring my right knee back. And I end up in kind of a hands and knees position, but kind of sideways. Now from here, I'll walk my hands back towards the back of the mat, and I'm going to let my hips come down towards the floor so I end up sitting kind of like a mermaid. So I'll go through that again for you quite quickly. So we started off with one foot forward, one foot back, and hands on the chair. The hands go out and away from the front leg, and we come down onto the palms of the hands to bring the front leg back. Then we lean the hips out onto the floor to come into that mermaid type sit. From here, you might be able to, and you might even need to lean all the way out onto your elbow to start to be able to get your legs around. It might not be terribly graceful at first as you walk your hands around, but who cares? It doesn't matter how smoothly or gracefully it goes. What matters is that you're taking the effort to do something that is just a little bit out of your comfort zone. As I said, please be sure that you feel very safe to do this. Have lots of soft things around you so that you do make sure that if you do go a little faster than you expected to, that you'll be nice and safe. Now, how do we get back up again? So eventually when it comes to lying down, you might scoot your backside forward. Sometimes it's easier to go to your side. And I'm just going to pull this blanket out because it's in my way. And as I come down onto my side, then I can start to lower myself down and I end up eventually lying on the floor. Now, how do I get back up again? You might have your own way of getting up and it's always fine, but generally we find if we roll to the side, push down through the forearm, or the upper arm of the bottom arm and the forearm of the top arm, and we end up coming back up into this kind of mermaid sitting position. Now from our mermaid sitting position, we're going to start to walk our hands back around towards the chair and start to push down through the hands to rock back up onto the knees. Now it's okay if you end up in all sorts of strange orientations, just crawl yourself around until you end up facing back towards your chair. And then from here, your hands or your forearms will come back up onto the chair. And oh, that's right, maybe you want to lean out and away from that leg in order to get the leg forward into a lunge. Stepping forward can be kind of tricky. So maybe you need to bring your foot to halfway and then grab your knee or your ankle with your hand and help to adjust it further forward. Then bring your hands back around and onto the chair. We're almost there. Now maybe you were leaning forward to rest your elbows onto the chair, tucking the back foot toes under and pushing down through your forearms and your back foot to lift your back knee up and away from the floor. It could be 1, 2, or 3 steps or a lot of little steps to get that front foot to come more forward. Maybe you just get halfway and you step I said the front foot forward, I meant the back foot. Then maybe step that front foot back. Then hands on the chair. And slowly begin to make your way back up. Maybe hands walk up your thighs. Nice strong core as you come up. And when you get to the top, it's important to have a Tadasana moment. You did it! Congratulations! You now know how to get up and down off the floor. Thanks for practicing yoga today. Bye for now.